everyone. Thank you for tuning into our very first live stream session of our Touching Base with the Inspirational Women of Portsmouth sessions. So I'm Jasmine. You would have seen me advertise through our social medias and whatnot. And I am here and I have the pleasure of having Jodie Hughes with me today from Endometriosis South Coast. So Jodie runs the charity that we are actually going to be supporting at this year's awards. And the work that she's done for her charity led to her being nominated and then shortlisted as a finalist in our 2022 awards. So alongside her charity, Jodie is also doing a PhD at the minute and being an amazing mum to her little boy. She truly is an incredible woman. So tell me, Jodie, how do you manage everything?
I don't.
That's fair enough.
No. I put quite firm boundaries in place.
Yeah.
I make sure I give my little boy all that he needs. He is the most important thing.
Yeah.
But the PhD runs quite nicely alongside the charity work we're doing.
Okay.
So that is a massive break, to be honest.
Yeah.
If it was two completely different subjects, like someone I know who's completely crazy, it would be different.
Yeah.
But because they work quite nicely together, it's fairly easy.
That's nice that they sort of coincide with each other, because you were saying you are doing your PhD on endometriosis care and things like that, so I think it's a little step aside from the charity work. It's got to be quite nice to just look at it a bit more in depth and things.
Yeah.
So we know that being nominated for one of our awards can mean different things for different people. So what did being nominated mean to you?
Do you know what? It was amazing. It was really, really amazing. I couldn't honestly believe it.
Yeah.
Because I don't see myself as an inspiration at all. I do a lot.
Yeah.
I do work my backside off. I get that, but there are people in this city that do so much more than me. That deserve it a lot more than me.
Honestly, the amount of people I've spoken to, and they're like, I'm really not inspirational. I just don't get it. Like, I don't really do much. But honestly, I think sometimes when you're there and you're doing all the work yourself, I think sometimes it's really hard to appreciate what that impact can have on someone else's life. And I feel like this is what leads to people being like, yes, she does it, like, she's inspirational. I really want to be like her. She inspires people and she doesn't realise she's doing it. And yeah, I think they're the best kind of women, to be fair.
Yeah, I am getting better at writing things down.
Yeah.
Writing things down that the charity's doing, writing things down that I'm doing, and kind of once a month looking back on it and going, okay, I did do a lot.
Yeah.
Like, this is okay. You're doing well. Like, you're getting where you need to be.
Yeah, you can touch so many people's lives without knowing it, and I think that's a really cool thing about doing things sometimes, because you can be so surrounded in it, but the impact it has on people's lives is just great. Would you say being nominated impacted your life and how you work in any way?
It definitely impacted my life because I got to meet the amazing Ronnie, and Ronnie, like she does, she just turned everything upside down and on its head, and has been the most amazing support. And I've made a fantastic friend through it.
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier, honestly.
Oh, in true Ronnie fashion, That sounds about right for Ronnie. We love her though, she's great. Life would be the same if Ronnie wasn't there, just to throw a cog in the work every now and then.
Absolutely, and she just wants to do everything for everybody. Like, the community is her heart.
Oh yeah. Ronnie will do literally anything for anyone. Yeah. Ronnie's just like the biggest inspirational woman.
She is,
does
and
so much.
she
You'll
doesn't
never
really
believe it. We could turn around. She could be watching this right now, and she'll be like, "No, don't be so silly."
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, love Ronnie. So I'm sure it's not been the easiest journey to get to sort of the position you're at now with sort of building up a charity, running that, and everything. So would you mind telling me a little bit about your journey and any sort of obstacles you may have had to overcome?
So my journey is a bit of a long winding, which is what happens to most people, I think, that are in my position and are working within the community. It's come from a place of understanding that something's lacking.
Yeah.
So me getting to where I am now has come from a place of understanding that there is a lack of grassroots support for people with endometriosis and adenomyosis and menstrual conditions in general, to be honest.
Yeah.
There is a complete lack of knowledge and understanding, and like there's no help. There is no help whatsoever. Like, I found out I had endometriosis after 19 years of trying to get a diagnosis. I ended up having a hysterectomy because of it that hasn't actually helped in any sort of way. So yeah, that's why I feel the need to advocate for people, help people advocate for themselves more than anything. Signpost people to places where they can get help. We help people. And it is just through a complete lack of just being anything for women with menstrual conditions, or even worse, people with menstrual conditions. Because we know that trans and non-binary people suffer even more than women. And it's just horrific, and they shouldn't be suffering.
I always find talking sort of about menstrual conditions and things is always still very a taboo topic in like everyday life. Like, you don't really talk about it. No one will freely talk about, I don't know, their period or something like that. And I don't understand it. It's a natural sort of process that women go through, and I think they should be able to freely talk about and get the help that they need for certain things.
Absolutely. That's why I'm the one that runs around shouting periods and vaginas, and I have a dress that's covered in uteruses.
Nice.
It shouldn't be taboo.
No.
At the end of the day, if we didn't have a period, there would be no life on Earth. So yeah, it's a natural thing that half of the more than half of the population goes through.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Why do you think it is so taboo?
It's the patriarchy. It is. It's the patriarchy. We've always been taught that anything to do with menstruation or anything to do with women or the gendered side of things is wrong, and women are to be seen and not heard, and not have any problems, and just pull up their socks and get on with it. And it's only now that we're sort of going, nah, it's not happening anymore.
No. This is my body, I should be able to talk about it and things like that.
Like, look at the menopause thing that's going on at the moment. That's got massive, which is absolutely fantastic, because it's about time that we talked about, people do go through the menopause.
It's a real thing.
Yes.
We didn't make up the menopause.
No, it's not just an excuse for getting old and getting a bit forgetful.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, raising awareness. I like it. People should be able to talk freely about things that happen to their bodies.
Absolutely.
Without the fear of being judged by man.
Yes. yes.
Oh, so you said you decided to make your own charity because of like advocating for women and getting them to advocate for themselves. Was there any other reason you sort of decided like now is the time that I want to do this? Because I mean, I'm sure it's not easy just to be like, just to set up a charity. I feel like that's quite a lengthy process.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? You would think that it came from a really long thought out decision, but it didn't at all. It was just me that went, okay, I'm sick of fundraising for someone else that isn't doing the work on the ground. So I'm going to fundraise for us so that the money goes into the local community, and that is exactly what I do.
I mean, that's good enough a reason then. Any, to be fair, I mean, why would you want to pay someone else to do the work you could do yourself?
Exactly. And I literally sat and went through the government website, went through the guidelines, and applied to be a charity, and that was it. It was done.
Endometriosis South Coast was born.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I like that. I think some people will have this idea that they want to, that there's a gap, they want to change it, and then they won't do anything about it. And the people that actually then go out there and do things, and then you can see the impact it has on the actual community and things. I think that's got to be so much better than just raising money and then never seeing the outcome of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like when we do our community, we go out into the community and do stalls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And every single one of them, someone will come up to us and go, oh my god, I didn't know you existed, this is amazing, like finally there's someone I can talk to about it, or I've been suffering for this many years and I've finally got a diagnosis, like what do I do now? There is always someone that just thanks us for being around. So we are doing our job.
Yeah.
If we help one person, we're doing our job.
That's it. It's got to be quite humbling sometimes just to receive messages from someone, because I imagine you can often get quite wrapped up in sort of planning events and then sorting out what happens after that and just juggling the whole thing, and then for someone just to go thank you for being there, I think I'd be quite humbled.
It's huge. It is massive, and it's good for us to get that feedback that we're on the right track and we are actually helping people.
This is great. I love it. So I'm definitely sure your story, your inspirational story, it's not just going to stop here, is it? You're not going to be like, right, that's it, I'm done. So what are your plans going forward, sort of, for the next year?
So for the next year, we've got a few different events coming up. We've got the ball in November. Then obviously in March, it's Inspirational Women's Day, and I'll be at the event this time. I'm not going to have COVID.
Oh, were you not there last time?
No, I got COVID 2 days before. 2 days before, and March is actually Endometriosis Awareness Month as well, so it falls in quite nicely.
Out really well for you.
Yes, yes, but we are going to plan something big for March, which will be nice. We don't know what it's going to look like yet, but we will do. So yeah, there's lots going on. We'll carry on with training new people up to be group facilitators, just so that I can step away from that sort of role. But yeah, there's loads and loads of big stuff happening. I'm not going to let too much.
No, you can't spill all.
No.
There'll be no surprises.
But get your tickets for the ball. 3rd of November.
Love a bit of plugging. That's actually worked out quite well with the whole Endometriosis Month and the whole awards, women and things like that. That's actually, we planned it really. We knew all along that it was going to work out perfectly. So we sort of found out a lot about you and your story, and I'm sure there would have been many people that would have inspired you to go forward and just really back you following what you believe. So I do have to ask everyone this question, and I hate being asked it myself because I'm like, how the hell do I pick one person?
Yeah.
But who inspires you?
See, that is a really hard question because there are so many people. But at the moment, my inspirational woman is the forefather of gynecology.
Yep.
So the person that all the work that modern day gynecology is based on, he actually kept slaves.
Okay.
And there was one particular woman And I feel awful because I can't even remember her name.
I've put you on the spot.
That's the menopause for you. But there was one particular slave, and he operated on her over 30 times. Did over 30 gynecological operations on her. And that was without anaesthetic. Because there's always been a misconception that black people don't feel pain.
Yeah.
And that bias has actually travelled through to modern day medicine. But that woman, to go through all of that, is my inspiration. Not the man that then has then made gynecology. It's that woman for going through that amount.
It's crazy. Wow.
Yes.
For someone to go through all of that, through no choice of their own, but without knowing it, she did help shape
Absolutely.
modern gynecology, and I think that's incredible. I'm very sorry for putting you on the spot, so I forgot her name though.
I'll post it later.
I'll say if you ever remember it, put it in the comments. I'm sure everyone would love to know. Oh, so it's been lovely talking to you today, and thank you so much for coming and sharing your story. It's really opened my eyes a lot to sort of endometriosis, and the work you do to help empower other people to, you know, be like, no, this isn't okay, I want answers. So yeah, I've loved talking to you and finding out about your inspirational woman. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to today's live. We will be uploading this onto Facebook once we have, you know, sort of done all the admin bit that isn't really my forte, but we will upload it to Facebook. We will tag Jodie's socials in it as well, so then you can check out a little bit more about what Endometriosis South Coast are up to. And check out the ball that Jodie's been plugging. So thank you very much everyone for joining tonight.